Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, and the directors from Winter Soldier, Civil War, Endgame, and Infinity War. It's sure to be a great film, right? So what's good, my fellow film fiends? I go by Kevin Demos, aka the Film Fiend himself, and today we'll be getting into the Gray Man. Pause. When the CIA's most skilled operative, whose true identity is known to none, accidentally uncovers dark agency secrets, a psychopath former colleague puts a bounty on his head, setting off a global manhunt by international assassins. I'm gonna start off by saying this: the Gray Man is gray in personality and also in tone. I'm not gonna sit here and say this is a bad film to watch it, anything of that nature, because I don't necessarily think it's a bad film. I just think it's extremely average and predictable. The biggest crime this film commits is it's mid, and a lot of the elements and aspect of this film we've seen done so many different times in other films, but done way better than it's done here. And I'm not gonna just spend the whole time ragging on this film. I don't do that. So let me focus on some of the positive. And to me, the positive is honestly Ryan Gosling's character. He carries this film, and I know some people aren't the biggest fan of it because he could come off, and he does come off, and is a very one tone, very laid back, and surface level you would think there's not much to his character, but I highly disagree because right off from the jump you understand what his character is about. You meet him in prison, and with Billy Bob Thornton's character, trying to recruit him into the CIA, and because Ryan Gosling's character is facing a boatload of years, and that little backstory, it opens up the character, and you understand what he's about. He's not one track minded. It's a lot more to his character, which leads to his first mission in the CIA. Not his first mission, one of his missions in the CIA, and you see he makes a decision that if you're an assassin, a CIA agent, you're not going to make. And it added a lot of layers to his character. It showed his heart, his compassion. He may portray it in one way, but that's just how his character is. And there's plenty of people in the world with that type of personality. And I also loved all the relationship Ryan Gosling's character had in here. Billy Bob Thornton, Ana de Armas. There's this other actress. I'm sorry, I'm completely blanking out of her name. Also had a great relationship with her, and also there's this character that plays as the niece of Billy Bob Thornton, and it's such a wonderful, well done relationship in my opinion. They established it extremely well, and you understand why Ryan Gosling later on risked everything to pretty much save her. And if you're seeing the theme now, that all the positives I'm saying have to do with Ryan Gosling, it's not by accident. Let me also say Ana de Armas' character is good as well, but she's just extremely underused. She's primarily more later on in the film, and she does good. I just wanted more of her, but man, I'm confused as for what the Russo brothers were going with this film, because this is extremely hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that, which I absolutely love. But how they shot it was a cardinal sin in my opinion, because when you have these type of action sequences going on, shaky cam and extremely up close and jumpy cuts are a no-no, and that's exactly what they did. It makes it hard for you to see what's going on. Like, none of the scenes were able to breathe, and it left me extremely confused, and which is weird because they have experience in the realm of the MCU, which has me thinking the Russo brothers without Papa Feige, what are they really capable of? But that's a topic for another day. But yeah, I really had issues with some of the action sequences, and also they went bigger when it necessarily didn't need that, for the way I felt like this film was being set up, especially from the go. And Chris Evans, I like him as a actor, primarily as Cap, and I've seen him in other stuff here and there, Knives Out to Snowpiercer. He has good acting chops, but here I understand what type of character they were going with, but it did not work for me at all. Yes, he's very eccentric and stuff like that out there, and yeah, he just came off as a hole, and his character felt extremely uneven. It fought the tone that the whole film was going with altogether, and I felt Chris Evans overplayed it, this character. It was not much of a balance. He was turned up on 10 the whole time, and I guess the button broke off because he never went down. And yeah, and that mustache and the buzz cut. That's what are we doing here? Come on now. Anyways, and that's a big issue to me when your main antagonist of the film, Chris Evans' character, doesn't gel balance with the story, the film, or the main character itself. And they did such a big show of it. Ryan Gosling character, which is called Six, and Chris Evans character, I forgot what his name was. It's supposed to be this big clash of some of the best of the CIA and stuff like that, and they met early on, and I wouldn't even call it a full on fight, and then you don't really see anything between them until all the way in the end. So a huge chunk of this film, they're not even fighting against each other. So what we were promised was never really delivered, and when they finally met, the fight to me was extremely underwhelming and anticlimactic. And don't even get me started on the ending of this film, man. Ugh, it's a lot of weird decisions, because I feel I'm watching this film and I feel like the skeleton is there for a great film. If not great, at least extremely good. Like I said, Ryan Gosling's character is phenomenal. He builds these great relationships. The action leaves a lot to be desired, but there's certain parts of it that work. And I feel like you have Chris Evans, you have a nice cast. I thought you have serviceable directors in the Russo Brothers, and it just never clicked and meshed. And yeah, I'm extremely disappointed in this film. I'm a little rougher on it because I had, honestly, when the year started, this film wasn't my most anticipated of the year. So this is a huge letdown for me. And honestly, that's why I'm giving this film a 2.5 stars out of 5. A film that sometimes feels uninspired, with hidden potential that was never reached. The Gray Man is bland and predictable, but also with some charming values. And that's the best way that I could explain this film. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed and let down. Mainly because this film just doesn't have its own identity, which surprised me, man. I saw the cast, I saw the directors. You even have Christina Hardwick in here. I'm like, damn, this cast looks phenomenal. The premise from a book and all of this good stuff, and it just never meshed and never clicked, and they never found themselves in this film. And I'm clearly in the minority because this film got a sequel already and is getting a spinoff, which I believe, well, nobody knows, but I would think it's Ana de Armas' character, because she was the other standout in my opinion besides Ryan. So yeah, who cares what I have to say at this point, right? Yeah, I'm Kevin D. Moss, and let me know in the comments below what you thought about the film. Am I tripping? Did you like it? Is it a great film? Or is it as average as I think it is? And until next time, peace.